What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Command This. It is time for our weekly Commanders live stream. It's Thursday, July 18th. I'm live on location from vacation at the beach. So excuse me for my out of my normal setup. But I'm joined by my fellow bros, and looks like Phil decided to join us. I'm joined with Dev on my right and then Phil on my left. Appreciate you joining, fellas.
I told you I would just be running late. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, the fact that we run late, generally speaking, helped us out.
Even when we're on time, we are late because that's what we do.
But when we're late, we're on time.
Yeah, I guess it kind of works like that in some weird way, shape, or form. So, but yes, thank you everyone for tuning in. We appreciate you. Today we're going to talk about some. The rookies reported to Ashburn today for camp. Then we're going to talk about some Jason Wright, our team president, will be departing at the end of this season. We're going to talk about some Brandon Ayuk, some Emmanuel Forbes expectations. And then we're going to laugh a little bit at the expense of the New York Football Giants, because why not, right? Why would we not do that? And I think that's it. We'll have a pretty good show tonight. So thank you for all tuning in, fellas. How has your week been going thus far while I get this out into the socials?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I didn't need a TV show to laugh at the Giants.
But it truly, truly helps.
I want people to stop. People can stop right now thinking that we're, the little cows of the NFL. We are not. We are rebuilding from little cow status. We are on a redemption arc right now. The Swifties would say we are in our comeback era.
Okay.
But the Giants define little cow. You just, no matter what, you can just keep milking them for content, for laughs. Keep milking them, baby.
It doesn't get any I am shocked at the level of exposure that we're having to that team through Hard Knocks. I don't understand, to be honest with you, but I'm here for it and I love it. It's fantastic.
You learn more about us than you did them,
dude. Like the stuff they're saying on camera, we're gonna talk about it here in a little bit. It's just you don't say those things on camera. You just don't. Call me crazy, but that's just me. I'm sorry.
Imagine what they say off camera.
For real, man.
I'll tell you what they're saying off camera, dog. Nigga, that's what they're saying.
When in doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. When in doubt, yell it out. That's right. The clench fist and whatnot. All right. Well, let's get on and get right to it. Let me get the proper exposure for today's show. There we go. All right. How we got in the chat? We have Mr. Yam in Japan. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you giving us the early wave. Patrick West checking in from Fayetteville, Georgia, HTTRC. That's right.
Georgia.
We talked about this last time, Fayetteville. Like the only Fayetteville, I didn't know there's a Fayetteville, Georgia, to be honest with you. I thought it was just North Carolina, home of the old
Fayetteville, Arkansas too.
We got a Fayetteville in Kentucky, I'm sure.
There's one.
I'm talking about like all those places, all those Fayettevilles are at least significant. It's not like some.
There's a little one in Georgia.
Yeah, Marcus Elin, founder of Sports V2 on Facebook. Go check him out, sharing all the good content. Thank you, Marcus. We appreciate it. You don't have to share it into the attic group because that's our group, but we appreciate the kind gestures. Yam says, I need to find a place to watch Hard Knocks. I wasn't going to watch it because I have no interest in Hard Knocks, but I want to now. Yeah, I'm telling you.
I got a guy.
Even with no interest in the Giants, it's so entertaining to watch because normally they watch their P's and Q's. These guys don't care. Like John Mara's like, I'm going to have an aneurysm where I'm going to go crazy if Saquon goes to Philadelphia. Yeah, he's our most popular player. And then he goes to Philadelphia. Like,
by the way, it's Fayette County. That's Lexington. It's not Fayetteville. It's Fayette County. Lexington's in Fayette County.
Yeah. Okay.
You like that?
He needs your shirt.
Yeah, it's a double entendre. It's a little bit of what's that little show with all the kids and the scary
Stranger Things.
Great, yeah, and it's also the group of X-Men that went out to the island by themselves. They started the Hellfire Club. Have you ever watched the
really?
X-Men Day, the X-Men Days of Future Past one with Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
That's his group of people that were together called the Hellfire Club. That's why the Stranger Things people adopted it in the comic. They created a group on the little island they made in Genosha called the Hellfire Club. It's like a double meaning. So it's pretty cool, man. I've got a lot of compliments on the shirt and think nobody even knew it. Like got the meaning of it, but that's cool. Thanks, Ian.
Have a little difficulty with one of the Twitter accounts, but okay. So the rookies reported to camp today. We're talking the whole draft class: Ben Sinnott, Jaden Daniels, Brandon Coleman, Jordan McGee. Sam Hartman was undrafted. Luke McCaffrey, Jazon Newton, Mike Sandra still. I think I'm forgetting one other person I'm forgetting, but either way, they have reported today, and then the rest of the homeboys report further down the line. So football's back. This is what we've been waiting for. Cheers to that. Been waiting for it for a while. So, but the young guns are back, man. The future is now. This is episode 282. We're calling it "The Future Is Now" of our 8 or 9 rookie draft class that we got, man. We're looking pretty good. And JP Finley, I want to share something with you. He shared 10 thoughts in his column about observations, things he wanted to look for, and I just wanted to get your guys' take on this as we move forward talking about the rookies. But the Commanders writ large open up next week in camp, and let's not forget we were 4-13 last year, fellas. 4-13. But you know we need balance. His first point is the need for balance. We're talking about Eric Bieniemy and the whole leading the NFL in pass attempts with Sam Howell.
Right.
I'm glad he wants to talk about balance now that Sam Howell's gone. I don't remember him mentioning that at all when Howell was the quarterback here. But
yeah, I don't either.
He was paying attention to what we were saying.
Hey. Okay, that's his first thought. And it would be nice to, Jaden Daniels, new rookie quarterback, he doesn't need to be leading the charge in pass attempts. He just doesn't. When you have Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson back there. And Cliff Kingsbury does have that reputation for having that air raid offense, but he came out multiple times and said he's going to be a balanced guy. So we'll see. For the record, he was 13th in the NFL in rush attempts when he was head coach of Arizona. So that just gives you a little bit of context. What I don't know is how much of those 13 rush attempts was
Kyler Murray.
Right. But once again, you can just replace that with Jaden Daniels and we should be good, right?
I'll tell you right now.
You would think.
While you go through that,
yeah, while Phil looks that up, the second point he brings up is having a two-headed backfield. So with Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson being back there, you have one that's a bell cow, Brian Robinson, and one that's the scat back, the pass catcher out of the backfield. So you kind of have everything covered. So you can have the balance, and then you can have the two-piece combo in the running back. So pick your poison. You just got to make sure you maintain that balance that we're going to talk about. Phil, for a second. We got Phil. Still looking?
Well, Kyler Murray was sub 100 carries. I'm looking at 2019. He ran more with he had Kenyon Drake and David Johnson.
Yeah,
putting up over 200 carries between the two of them. Chase Edmonds had 60. Christian Kirk had 10.
I don't
so
think that,
Kyler Murray was scrambling a lot, but it wasn't even like RG3 levels.
Right.
Running.
It wasn't.
I'm kind of looking,
or Lamar Jackson,
I moved
or
2020. Okay, 2020, Kyler Murray did have 133 carries, but Kenyon Drake had 239 and Chase Edmonds had 97. So again, It's a chunk, but like I said, it's not. It's not like that. I mean, that 133 did catch me off guard, but a little bit, not too much. Kyler Murray only had 88 in 2021.
Yep.
Chase Edmonds and James Conner combined for over 300 carries.
Yeah. So we might be in good hands. Maybe that's just kind of a myth then that we're talking about.
Even in an air raid, it was 1 out of 4.
Yeah, not too bad. Still better than what Bieniemy did last year. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he's an offensive coordinator, UCLA, or running back. I can't remember. He's offensive coordinator at UCLA. OC. Like, yeah. He brings up the fact that Jaden Daniels should and will take care of the ball. He had 7 interceptions his last 2 seasons at LSU. In 26 games, 7 interceptions. The contrast of that is that Sam Howell had 16 interceptions over 24 games in North Carolina. Not bringing up old shit, but bringing up old shit. And the turnovers kind of followed Howell to the pros. So he threw 18 last year in 17 games. So I think that's another point. Getting people to the ground. He's talking about getting tackles. And last year, Cody Barton was our leading tackler, 121. 2022 was Jamin Davis, 104. Last year, Bobby Wagner had 183 in Seattle. 183. And you know what's crazy?
For old ass man.
He's the same age as when London Fletcher came to the Redskins. He ain't that old. He's 34. So I'm not saying he's Iron Man like London was, but we might get a couple good years out of him still. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. This is not a stat. But we finally got a long snapper. Okay. We don't have, and we have Larry Izzo. We plucked the special teams coach from Seattle. So no more Cheeseman. We loved his mustache, but he's now gone. We have Tyler Ott, who they signed from Harvard, played for the Ravens last year. So plug in the middle of the defense. That's another point he brings up. So clearly, we have Deron Payne, we have John Allen. I'm sorry, plugging the middle of the offense, not defense. Picked up Tyler Biadasz. Am I saying that right? Biadasz. Batch.
That's all the names are going to be called if he gets a Glock Dookie Award.
Listen, who was our center last year? We struggled with centers last year. The names are escaping me because I can't remember. It was so bad. Either way, Biadasz missed 2 games past 2 seasons. And so one of those, it was a rest game for Dallas when they had the playoff spot. So Biadasz could be our link in plugging the middle of the field on offense. Second, the next one is he's calling it a slow ride. And so last year, October 1st until week 14 bye in December, the Commanders traveled to away games in Philly, Atlanta, New York, New England, Seattle, and Dallas. The trips to New England and Seattle were in back-to-back weeks. And then we had to travel on a short week to Dallas for Thanksgiving. Just got screwed, man. And so the travel schedule this year is much more friendlier. As you know, we did the schedule reveal episode. From October 1st until a mid-December bye week, the Commanders don't have to travel any further than New York. That's fantastic, if you ask me. There's no more, big,
fantastic.
You know what? You can't beat it.
It's fantastic.
Yep. Takeaways. Last season, the Commanders, 8 interceptions in 17 games. Only 2 teams finished with fewer than the Commanders. In 2022, the Commanders had 9 interceptions under Ron Rivera. So 17 interceptions in 2 years, which is just horrendous. Dan Quinn's Cowboys had 17 by themselves last year alone. So I'm not saying the talent is there, but we have Joe Witt Jr., we have Dan Quinn. The math is there. We're mathing. Math is mathing this time.
I think Davis and Juice are going to start corners.
Yeah.
I think Savage Trail might be slot. The real competition is going to be Forrest and Quan.
Yeah. And
I think they both the players about the same. I think they both will technically be started because we're sub packages 70% of the time, so it's possible.
Yep. We're going to have to see.
Some of the odd guy out is the other safety. I can't think of his name we drafted.
Yep. And he says it's a young man's game. At least one NFL team has advanced to the divisional round with a rookie quarterback under center. In 2022, it was Purdy. Last year, it was C.J. Stroud with the Texans. So something to look at. And then the last point he brings up is when this season begins in September 8th, it'll be more than a year since Dan Snyder owned this franchise. So kudos. We've passed the hump. It's time to move on. But yeah, not a pretty bad opening for little JP. Yan was asking, how do you guys feel about the Ashburn syndrome? People were claiming that we'll make the playoffs and such. Do you feel it's better to be optimistic and risk being let down, or being more realistic and being surprised? Phil, what do you think?
I think it's good to be optimistic if you feel like there's reason to be optimistic. I don't think we have reason to be so optimistic for this season. I think that this season's going to build towards us being optimistic for playoffs and beyond starting next season. I do think we'll be considerably better, but you got to think, you got a lot of pieces coming together at once. It's going to take a little time for cohesion. I mean, that's why I predicted 8 wins. Y'all predicted 7. I mean, that's not none of those are winning records, but it's better than last season, right? And that's what we expect. Our optimism lies in the progression, not in the quick turnaround. It's in the progression. So I think it's realistic and grounded, but still optimistic to say we're going to double our win total from last season.
Right.
I mean, that's just how I look at it.
Okay, that's true. I get that. That makes sense. What about you, Dev? Is it better to be cautious and not being let down, like Yam's saying, or optimistic?
I'm cautious and did not be let down, guy, myself. I think we're going to be ass. Hope we're not. Yeah, I think we'll be ass. Just hope we're not. Pray that we're not.
Ass. Well, I mean, we said 7 wins. I don't think 7 wins is ass when you're
that's like a good
4-win season.
That's like a good win. I really think we're going like 4 or 5. But on a good, if everybody stays healthy, which that's not going to happen.
Right.
So I don't know, man. It'll be 2012 all over again. It feels like 2012, but it isn't. I mean, our defensive backs are terrible. We have to have the worst defensive backfield in the NFL.
We didn't really have great defensive backs in 2012 either.
Well, remember we used to say that about our linebacking crew. If you remember, it used to be the linebackers, and Mike Clay gives us the number 1 off-ball linebacking crew in the NFL out of nowhere.
At least we always had Kim Fuller to lean on. We don't have that.
Yeah,
Davis is pretty good though from the Chargers. I just wonder if he and Juice are going to start. We're going to do it. Forbes. I've always thought that Juice would be the odd man out because his contract's up at the end of the year. He doesn't really figure in your future plans. You drafted a cornerback number 1 overall, then you drafted another one 2 overall, then you drafted another one 2 overall. So it's like you got to sometimes let these guys play.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to let them play. So I always wonder, like, why are we keeping Juice around? Why don't we trade that guy while he has some kind of – we only need one veteran there to guide these guys, man. That's Davis, in my opinion. But I'm not the coach, man. Maybe they see something. I don't know. Maybe they see something.
Maybe they do. Maybe they do. And on Yam's question, I am with Dev. I am cautiously – I'm not going, oh, it's our year. It's our year. Like I said, I got 7 wins, and I will be happy with a bad record. But, man, if you can see glimmers of hope on the defense and Jaden playing well, man, I'm okay with that. This is a rebuild, dude. It ain't happening. Yeah, exactly.
The only thing that gives me caution, though, Steve, is that we signed a lot of veteran players to 1-year deals as if we plan on making some kind of a noise this year. That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. Like, why would you bring in Wagner, who's 34, obviously don't have a long career left? You brought in all these guys that 1-year deals. It makes me think that maybe you're just trying to get these young guys to see how. On one side, you're saying you're going to let these young guys see how these older veterans go about their professional careers and maybe learn something from them and keep the ones who can. I get that theory, but on the other side, why do you have them?
You also, good point. I think it just goes to show you that these players know what we're going through. You're starting with a rookie quarterback. They followed Dan Quinn and Joe Witt. That means something. And Adam Peters, like, you plucked a special teams coach from Seattle. Like, how? Why are you leaving Seattle for a lateral move? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something to be said for that, in my opinion.
Something in the water.
There's something in the water. It's probably personality based, but you don't just do those things for a team that had the number 2 overall pick and they were a terrible team last year. That's all I'm saying. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Am I making sense, Dev?
Oh, you're making perfect sense. I think
There's more to it than just 1 year deal. I mean,
I watched an actual rebuild, and it's like I said, this is where here comes Phil with his history lessons again. All right,
You think this is a rebuild?
Do what?
Do you think this is a rebuild? Because I haven't really heard anybody say it.
no, they said what did they say? They said
Recalibration.
Recalibration. There you go.
And it's because they don't want people to be like, well, fuck, I'll just buy tickets when the team's good again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is them trying to make sure they sell tickets and all that.
We kind of always knew they'd sell out tickets as soon as they got a new owner. We all kind of knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a broader point here, right? I watched this do a proper rebuild when the Gibbs era officially died. Richie Pettibone and all that.
The first Gibbs.
Yeah, the first Gibbs.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember watching. If you go back and look, that was a true rebuild, like in every sense of the term. So what it was is they built both through free agency to a draft, and they even had the handicap of they had just implemented the salary cap, right?
Mm.
So you're talking about some serious changes as far as the how you construct a roster. This is all Charlie Casserly, right? And this is a team that went 3-13 the first year under North Turner. They went to 6-10 the next year, and then 9-7 the following year. And realistically, was for a while one of the 3 best teams in football that year until they just collapsed in the second half. They were 7-2 at one point that season, and then it just fell apart. But still, to progress like that, to go 3-13, 6-10, 9-7, right? Progress. Now, granted, we have a little bit more of an advantage because we already been kind of trying to get young, and I feel like that this could be that 3-13 to 6-10 kind of year. Like, we're still gonna have a losing record, but we're gonna look a lot more competitive, and we're probably gonna win a couple of games that you wouldn't think we would have won last year. Things like that. That's what I'm looking for. It's like, I want to see progression. I want to see a movement forward, but I'm not going to sit here and say like playoffs. What 4-13 team playoffs the next year?
You're talking about playoffs?
Playoffs.
Our offense didn't do diddly poo.
Rest in peace, Jim Moore, man. By the way,
Jim Moore was a great soundbite.
A good coach too.
Marcus said Booger McFarland thinks the Commanders will surprise everyone this year. I got 9-8. Yeah, Booger McFarland said don't be surprised if we're talking about Jaden Daniels being the best rookie quarterback this year instead of Caleb Williams. He said he equated it to the way people were.
Man, speaking of Caleb Williams,
CJ Stroud versus Bryce Young.
Right. Speaking of him, what do you think about Williams' contract dispute? God dang.
It's over. It's done. He signed it.
He signed it?
He signed it. It's done.
Okay, I didn't see anything today. I was like, man, that dude don't want
We don't know. I
tagged.
don't know why.
He didn't want to be tagged or anything. He went in the literature saying that they weren't going to tag him within the 5 years, man. They were like, nah, forget.
I thought those
Ayuk is asking for that too.
I thought those.
Yeah, but he's been in the league fucking 8 year or 5 year or however long he's been in the league. This dude ain't
I
never
thought those
been in the
rookie
league.
contracts were canned. Like they were
I did too.
they're all exactly the same. They're
But
just more based on what your position was in the draft.
But I think that's just salary. I think the concessions can change because this guy he wanted no trade clause. He wanted not to be a franchise. He wanted his money paid to him in the LLC form so he could avoid taxes. It's like a whole lot of shit he wanted. It was crazy, dude.
There was rumors.
We've seen this with Caleb Williams since he declared for the draft. He wants to control as much as he possibly can throughout the process.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad thing. Kids are getting smarter. Why not? Why not? Who cares?
Here's a crazy thing. This kid's acting like he went to college.
And you know what? I want the players to have more power than they ever had before. The next CBA, the players better find. They got rid of DeMaurice Smith because he wasn't good. They got a guy named Lloyd someone Jr. came from the defense industry, a business executive. They need to negotiate more than just we want less padded practices. TV revenue this year, you know what it is? This team just got paid $402 million.
Well, they got that.
Every single team.
They got that now for the they got the collective bargaining agreement on the TV deals.
But that was done years ago. That money goes up every year. What they should have negotiated is with, okay, if your TV revenue goes up, then our salaries need to go up. But they didn't do that because you know why? They did a little bit of salary cap increase. It's incremental, very small. It's not proportionate to what you know what I'm saying? I want the players to have so much power that it just fucks the team over. I can't wait for that chaos, and it's going to be great. The team should not have all the power. The team can cut you any given second, but you can't quit on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like so
I'm about to
give the players more power.
I don't think that'll be. I think so much power will be bad for the game, though. Yeah, you don't want an NBA type thing going on.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen?
I don't know.
Right? Is the last thing I want to happen. And okay, dirty capitalist Phil over here. What I don't want to see is the NFL turn to the NBA because then it kind of ruins the experience. And it's funny. I'm about to say something that sounds anti-capitalist when I say this. I like the idea of being able to root for players and root for teams together instead of just following players to whatever. Because dude I like is on this team. I need to get that jersey now. Oh, he moved to another team the following year. I need to get that jersey now. Oh, he got traded again. I moved to get this jersey now. Like there's a certain point where it's just like you lose cohesion. And honestly, I think the NBA is a worse product
but you can do that in basketball.
You can do it in basketball.
From an execution of the game perspective, you can do that. You can't do that in football, but if you have the opportunity, it forces teams to come to the negotiating table and be better about it.
It just means the Dallas will have all the players they want, Washington and the big city teams.
But when you get
transfer portal for college, dude, it's chaos.
The reason why I brought up the NBA is because the NBA is the league where the players have the most power.
That's true.
Yeah, their contracts are fully guaranteed. They can leave at the drop of a hat.
That's all they have. But the
problem is that the NFL is the most profitable league. It makes way more money than the NBA. But
I would promise if I'm the owners, and if I'm league officials, my thing is that I would sacrifice more money, but retain some of the control over rosters and not having fully guaranteed contracts. That's where you got to find a way to trade off. Fine, we'll give you a bigger slice of the pie. You don't get guaranteed contracts. Like that's negotiating right there, and that's what I would do personally. But that's just me. But that's also because of the fact that I think that in order to have interest, you need to have quality of product. And I think if players have fully guaranteed contracts, I mean, honestly, does anyone really pay close attention to regular season NBA?
I mean, for my team, I do, but it's so bad. It's hard. I mean,
maybe I just don't. Maybe I passively pay attention because of the fact the Wizards suck.
I watched the Wizards play that just one preseason game. Sorry. Yeah. By the way, just to answer that question we were asking, the NFL generates significantly more revenue than the NBA. In recent years, the NFL has consistently brought in around $25 billion annually, while the NBA's revenue is approximately $12 billion a year.
I'm telling you,
about 13 more billion.
It's enough to give this year. 2 years ago, it was like 307 million. This year, the Packers just released their financials, $402 million. You could go 0-17. You're getting your $402 million.
What's even crazier is
the Packers being publicly owned is consistently the bane of 31 other owners.
Yeah,
because it's like they would love to keep this shit on the wrap.
But that's public information.
Financials come out with the package.
It's public. It's public. That information is not.
What's even funnier is the NBA is a more of a global phenomenon than NFL. Motherfuckers in China and Japan and most of Africa ain't watching fucking NFL now. They watching NBA.
They're watching NBA or
that's
soccer.
What's even crazier.
Yeah, but with the NFL is so big here.
Yeah, and in like now Europe, like UK, like the big pieces
London,
over there
in England,
Canada.
And so forth.
Yeah,
it's so big that okay. As much as life sucks right now, it's all struggle. We still have the biggest economy in the world, right? So when you're number one by a country mile in America, you're going to need it's hard to find the catch up in the revenue from the rest of the world because they don't have. You may be popular, in, several African countries. You may be extremely popular. They don't have the money to spend, so you're not getting revenue off of that. Their currency just doesn't go as far.
Yeah.
This is economics. This is not. I'm not hating on African continent. Somebody's gonna run with that.
Yeah,
but it's just economics of the fact that their money doesn't go as far. They don't have the same earning person per capita that we do. So whatever's most popular here is going to make more money. I'm sure FIFA, I'm sure the Premier League makes insane amounts of money.
Yeah. Em said, have y'all seen the people anointing Jaden in League MVP or similar? People forget it too. I've seen 0 people anoint Jaden.
League MVP?
Maybe it's just year.
You might need rookie of the year.
Well, the national media is saying that. I don't know. Maybe Em has some crazies. And listen, what you see on social media is just a small sliver of reality. Just remember that it's not real. It's just fun and entertaining. Marcus said, I read the rollover cap space next year. Washington will have over $100 million cap space. No, I read 71. We're going to talk about that when we get to Brandon Ayuk.
We got 50 now, don't we, or some shit?
No, we have 30. We have 37.
Yeah.
37 million now. And the Cardinals have 35. That was the research I'll share with you guys here shortly. Ian was talking about the only real issue next year's draft, likely a down year overall. That's correct. Next year's draft is not supposed to be very strong. He thinks position groups would be helpful as long as Jaden hits. Best groups of wide receiver edge in his understanding.
Deluxe, question. Go back to that one. Go back to that question. What do you think? What would be considered a success for you as far as Jaden Daniels is this year? Because I'm wondering if it does. I feel like he has to be good enough to where if we're 4 wins again and we're drafted number 2 overall, that we don't even consider taking a quarterback. That's how good he has to be, in my opinion. Like if Shadur Sanders is there at 3 and we pick 3, should we pick Sanders? I want it to not be a debate. No, we don't need to go offensive tackle or some shit. That's how good he has to play for me.
Unless Shadur gets twice as good as he was last year against their new schedule this year, I'll be entertaining.
It don't have to be Shadur. I'm just saying any other top quarterbacks coming out in the draft this year. If we're picking number 3 overall and they're there,
after 1 year,
I'm just wondering.
Like, do you think the Panthers? You think the Panthers said that about Bryce Young? You think the Panthers said that about Bryce Young?
He has to be. Rosen. He has to be.
Yes, but Rosen
levels of shit.
Yes, okay? Rosen was Heath Schuler bad. You can't tell me.
Got to play though.
You can't tell me.
Rosen got a full season
with the Cardinals, and they got rid of his ass for Kyler Murray. Because why would you pass on Kyler Murray?
What's the quarterback that went over to the Jets?
Sam Darnold.
And then they got another quarterback and got rid of him.
Zach Wilson. Sam Darnold went to the Niners. Now Sam Darnold's on the Vikings.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm wondering, would we be in that situation? Like, let's say we're just terrible.
If Jaden is
terrible
with no hope of redemption.
But Sam Darnold was not as good as Jaden in college.
He wasn't.
Josh Rosen wasn't as good as.
There's a lot of guys who are great in college and weren't so great in the NFL.
I know. I'm just saying those guys were only picked high in that class because there was no one else like that. Josh Rosen's class. It was Josh Rosen and Jared Goff. That was it. It were the only 2 quarterbacks.
This class was lauded, and it's turned out to be trash too.
Was it lauded? I mean, I know he was lauded. I didn't think his class was lauded.
Oh my God! They said it was going to be the best quarterback class since 1983 because you had him, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. They're all gone. How this is going to be so great, and it's been trash.
Lawrence is the only one who's left.
People are trying to make the argument that Trevor Lawrence is no better than Danny Dimes.
Hey, no doubt. Trey Lance, though, if you really think hard about it, he just turned 24. He's younger than Daniels. He's been in the league like 4 years or some shit. He's younger than Daniels, man. So, like, people are giving up on him, but that motherfucker might be developing behind Dak. You never know.
I doubt it.
You can't even develop Dak. How are you going to develop someone behind Dak?
Dak's
the quarterback.
Dak's top 3 NFC quarterback, I would say, in my opinion.
Yeah. He's a top 10 quarterback. overall.
I'd say top 3
Close.
NFC. Yeah, maybe we'll see.
Close.
When CD when
NFC.
the NFC when CeeDee Lamb leaves, who's also a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL, they'll be hurting because you know what? They won't pay him. Jared's gonna pull a stunt and he's gonna move on. Deluxe, what's up, good people? All right, I'm sorry guys, we have been skipping all these comments. We're still stuck on the first topic here. Ryan Elias, the first game against Atlanta was good. Missed the second game, but Sarr had. Oh, he's still talking about Wizards. Says Japan even has their own pro basketball league as far as overseas leagues in Japan. It's MLB and NBA. Yep. American football is growing.
They got an NFL thing over. They got a whole YouTube video of them motherfuckers stomping USA in the Olympic football team.
Ryan says, "Are you Leah, Danny Dimes, and Lawrence numbers? I guarantee you the same." Yeah. But
you're
also
right. There are some similarities, but they also it's very cherry picked.
It is. It's not. It's when you line them up together, it doesn't make sense. Trevor Lawrence is way better. You're taking away games to make it fit the exact same. It's not the same. Trevor Lawrence is better than.
And not only that, but I'm also going to say this: take away Daniel Jones against us.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee him playing us is what's lifting those numbers. Because he looks
like
5-1,
right? It's 5-1.
Something
5-1.
That.
Yeah, something.
5-0-1.
Yeah, I don't think he's lost at all to us. He hasn't lost at all to us.
Real quick, I wanna show something. This is from a guy named, if you follow John Francesca, he's just a writer. I think he did some Bleacher Report, but he goes on and rates the all 32 offensive trios in the NFL. So quarterback, receiver, running back, and this is where he puts the different teams. I'm not going to read them all, but the ones up top are pretty, straightforward. I just wanted to show you. He puts the Commanders down in 28 with Jaden Daniels, Robinson, and Terry McLaurin. He didn't put Austin Eckler in there. And Dev, I thought this was funny because I saw you commented on this and said, why didn't you put Eckler in over Robinson?
Right.
But he said the fans told me to do Brian Robinson over Austin Eckler, and I kind of agree with your sentiment. I mean, I don't know who was the right one to pick. Maybe it was
the guy that got 1,000 yards in combined offense and over 10 touchdowns every damn year. That's the guy you should put there. Who would you draft in a fantasy draft, Robinson or Eckler?
Oh, I'd probably draft Eckler. This year I'd draft Eckler. Yeah. Right. Just because
just for receptions.
Man, and what he's done in the past. That's all.
He scores in the goal line. He's like the best running back in the league in the goal line.
Yeah. They put old Drake May at the bottom. Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson, and Jalen Polk.
Yeah, that's Brisket's job, bro.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I thought this was cool and entertaining. I thought I'd show you that. Okay, so the next big news to hit the scene, Jason Wright. Jason Wright is now departing the team. It was announced that he will no longer be with the team after this year, but he will maintain his duties as still working on corporate sponsorships and the stadium deal. And he will take up the title as senior advisor. And then they will look to find a new president of football on the business side, not operational side, because that's Adam Peters. And so this kind of came as a shock today. But he will be leaving the team at the end of the season. Now, there's tons of argument on social media whether you think this was a soft firing or whether you think this was him actually leaving, or if you don't remember, he was a finalist for another executive position. Was it in the Packers? If I'm not mistaken, it came out very recently, a couple weeks ago. He was like the runner-up for it would have been a promotion. I don't remember what the title was with another team. And so Jason Wright announced that he's going to seek opportunities elsewhere at the end of the season. So Dev, started you. What do you think about Jason Wright being out, man? I think he was like the guy that bore the brunt of Dan's shit. You're already deep in a hole, digging yourself out. It's just hard. What do you think about Jason Wright and his departure?
I think the rumor is he left on his own. He wasn't fired or let go, right? He just was let go.
He's still with the team, and he was. There's nothing that came out that said he was fired. He said he is leaving the team. He's announced he will leave the team at the end of this season, seeking opportunities elsewhere.
Yeah. Great. I hope for him to see the maximum success he's allowed to have, man. I like to see him do good in
Yeah.
life, man. He's been nothing but a class act here. He's made some mistakes, but he's made less mistakes than the guys that hired him to fix their mistakes. So he did a pretty good job with those. I don't have a problem with Wright. I would wish he would stay, but hey, man, maybe he's trying to move on to another chapter of his life. He gave us about 3-4 years.
He came in during the COVID year?
I think so.
I think it was the COVID year. And I just looked it up. He was the finalist for the Packers CEO and team president. So that would have been a very prestigious
real HNIC.
He would have as the CEO of a team. But just real quick before we go on to Phil, I'll read you his statement real quick, paraphrasing. He's incredibly proud what we've done the last 4 years, taking this franchise through a period of immense challenge and uncertainty and transformed it, i.e. all the bullshit that Dan Snyder put on his plate. They have an incredibly bright future under Josh Harris. They've, over the last season, they've welcomed a record number of fans back into the building, making improvements to the fan experience, re-engaged with corporate partners, and reconnected with the community, and then reestablishing a culture of respect in the organization, which I 100% agree with. Phil kind of alluded to this earlier, is we're not kind of being laughed at as much as we used to be. And given all those accomplishments, he goes, I am proud to announce I will remain with the team throughout this season with the same responsibilities. I look forward to helping the organization complete its new stadium deal, which means we might have a deal by the end of the season. He feels like, I feel like this is the right moment for me to explore my next leadership opportunity. I feel like this is the right moment for me to explore my next leadership opportunity. I'm extremely grateful to my Commanders colleagues, fans the past 4 years. Look forward to the start of a very successful season for the Burgundy and Gold. And people are saying, he said Burgundy and Gold. He didn't say Commanders. This means they're rebranding back to the Redskins. He's the only reason we're not back to the Redskins. I mean, give it up. But that was his statement. Phil, what say you about Jay Wright?
Everything has been said. I think he was tasked with making chicken salad out of chicken shit. And while we didn't end up with a gourmet dish of chicken salad, it was still edible. It's kind of like the name. Did we end up with a gourmet name? No. But it's an edible name. It's at least edible. It's a name you can live with. All right.
Better than Wizards.
It's better than Wizards. It's better than Red Bulls. It's better than Red Hogs. It's better than football.
It ain't better than Red Hogs.
No. I already know. Fuck your Red Wolves. It's a terrible name unless you're coaching some soccer team out in Montgomery County or Ashburn or any of these other rich places with a bunch of pussy ass adults who go to Starbucks every day and buy chai lattes, whatever bullshit they get, and they go to Whole Foods, but because they got to buy the gluten-free stuff, even though nobody in their family has celiac disease. Why? Because somebody on TikTok told them that that's how it is. That's who your Red Wolves fans are, all right? It's people who have a bunch of kids, right? And they all are named the same. You have little Aiden, Jaden, and Braden all playing on the same soccer league, right? In the U6, U8, and U10. Those are the people. Those are what Red Wolves are built for, okay? It is not built for a professional American football team. It's a weak-ass name. And, okay, so now that I got Red Wolves out the way, all right? We're not going to talk about, I'm going to say this about Red Hogs. I see that one too, all right? You know what a hog is? It's slang for your dick. A red dick. Is that what you want to call your team? You want to name it after your male dog's parts? Now, let's move on. Washington football team. Trash. Odorless. Tasteless. All right? If you like football team, your favorite color is clear. Your favorite flavor is air. Your favorite spicy drink is water.
I'm a Red Wolves fan and a Washington football. I think Washington football team is better than Commanders.
No, and here's the thing. Now, Redskins. Why does anyone think that name could possibly be brought back? Because you've already opened up Pandora's box. You've changed the name away from that, and you've admitted because of alleged cultural sensitivities. Now, I don't agree with any of that. I know the history of the term. Most of the people who are against it don't. All right? They just hear it. It sounds racist. That's the best excuse. But no one can ever prove that it's a term that's really got racist origins. It doesn't. It was a term Native Americans made up. In fact, for most of history, Native Americans are the ones who used the term. All right. Only in a couple of Westerns in the 40s and 50s was that term used.
I'm still
Just like Indian, right? But anyway, you can't go back to Redskins. You just can't. You've opened up Pandora's box. Everything's been let out. You can't close that box.
Washington Naggers.
You can't. All right. Once you have committed to that, you have acceded that ground. It will never come back. So here's the thing. The only way any name is going to be accepted is by winning.
Yeah, that's true. But you can't sit there and tell me the
you
fan
win a
base
Super Bowl,
Commanders.
all the people saying, change the name back. Change the name back.
Yeah.
I'm a NAGA. I care about American Indians. I love how they say American Indians. I'm like, they're not from India. I support Native American culture. No, you don't. You just want the name back. Let's make it political. You want to own the libs. Okay, I get it. Why does NAGA look suspiciously like MAGA?
Oh, we already did the research. It's backed by the same people in that camp. We're not going to get political, but yeah. Ryan said, "Did y'all talk about this on Monday? But what's up with Dami Brown?" Yeah, I think he watched this show and saw us talking shit about him 2 weeks ago. That's what he. I'm just kidding. He's not.
I didn't see that. I
totally missed that.
No, Dev. I posted a reel on it in a short. Dev, we were talking. You were. I think you were here, Phil. We were talking about why does Dev not respect Terry McLaurin, but he backs up De'Ami Brown. Said De'Ami Brown his poor play is a product of bad coaching. And then I show a video footage of him dropping the ball. But I'm like, but you shit on Terry McLaurin all the time, but you're supporting De'Ami Brown saying, oh, De'Ami's issue's bad coaching. It's not his fault he's dropping all those. It was just a funny moment. That's all.
I saw the reel and the clip and all that.
Yeah, that was the context.
Well, the thing is you posted one that I was a part of, one that I wasn't.
Yeah. I just randomly streamed random.
I didn't see De'Ami's IG post, right?
Yeah. All he said was, "Did you talk about sellers?" No, I don't even know what about sellers. We're skipping around here.
He had like heart surgery or something replacement.
Oh, okay. No,
I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
I knew that he had a GoFundMe up because he had a ton of medical bills.
Right. Marcus says, fans, please, just because Jason is leaving, quit posting the name about the Redskins. Yep, it's not coming back. Nat River says, it was a soft firing. They're letting him right out the season so the new staff won't look cold-blooded. Good luck to Jason Wright. So Josh Harris' statement, you can't take anything from it. I mean, he says, Jason has made a remarkable impact to our Commanders organization since he joined, stepped in at a time of immense challenge, led us through an incredible transformation that set the stage for everything that has to come. I'm extremely grateful for Jason and his partnership to me the last year. His guidance has been invaluable, and his leadership has helped reshape our culture. I want to thank him for his dedication to the team, our fans, and the community. I'm grateful to have his support throughout this transition process as we begin finding the next president of this organization. Josh said it, not me. Okay, take your grievances with Josh Harris. Yam says Wright was given lemons and made lemonade time and again. When he made mistakes, he tried to listen and fix them. He did his best, man. He did his best. And people will cling on to
He might have made some starry.
He wasn't perfect. And people will just cling on to the Sean Taylor porta potty picture. That's what they're going to cling to. That's fine. But you will leave out the fact that, the statue's jacked up. Sean Taylor's daughter designed that statue, bro. His daughter designed that statue. Go take it up with her. It's
amazing how whenever you bring that up, they just it's like it just goes right past people.
Oh no, it's Jason Wright, and Jason Wright is the sole reason we're not rebranding back.
Bad, and Jason Wright announced name bad. This is the logic the Never Commanders work with.
Yes, Jason Wright's arrangements is
bad. Jason Wright statue bad. Jason Wright involved, so it's all Jason Wright's fault. And since Jason Wright announced the name, that's all his fault too. So everything sucks. Oh, let's go back to Redskins. Yeah. This is the logic.
Marcus said the same thing.
It drives me nuts because I have to be nice to these people on Sundays.
True. Yam says Commanders is awful. Simple as that. It is what it is. But winning solves everything. I mean, the Cleveland Guardians are bad. Wait till they win a championship if they ever do. People forget. Nat River says, please, no more Redskins. Ship has sailed. Ryan Red Wolf stinks. We did not talk about Sellers. Maybe we'll get to it at the end. Deluxe. Or he just said he had 21 surgeries, ultimately a heart transplant in April, doing well. Back coaching at IMG Academy in the fall. Ooh, that's a big name. That's a big school, IMG Academy. Yeah, Patrick West, just win.
Good.
Baby.
I hope Sellers is going to teach some guys how to play fullback. That is the position.
Oh, make fullback great again, dude. Make the fullback. We've been blessed. Look at our fullbacks over the years. Sellers, Darrell Young, Larry Centers.
Like
we've had some really good fullbacks.
Mark Logan, Larry Bowie. We've always had in the it's funny because we really didn't have fullbacks in the Gibbs era except for Otis Wansley, right? Because we ran a lot of single back offense with 2 tight ends or a tight end and an H-back. H-back is the true fullback. But after that, you had Mark Logan, who is a criminally underrated guy. He could catch balls out of the backfield. He could run. He could return kicks. And then you had Larry Bowie. And then you had Larry Centers. Then you had Brian Johnson. And then you had Mike Sellers. Twice, actually. He played, left, came back. Then you had Darrell Young after that. So we went 20-some years always having a pretty good fullback.
I forgot
it's not a great one.
Yeah. I mean,
Yam asks, what's a fullback?
Exactly. They don't exist anymore. Well, think about it. I can only think of 2 fullbacks in the NFL right now.
I had a real vulgar response to that, and I let it go. Just so you know, I'm not always a bad guy.
Kyle Juszczyk from the Niners and the guy from the Ravens, Ricard. I can't think of any other fullbacks. Those are the only 2 that I know run.
Kim Kardashian at NBA All-Star Weekend.
A fullback. She's getting it. What's a fullback? Okay. That's a little bit. That's the Jason Wright talk. All right. Phil had an intriguing article brought up about Emmanuel Forbes and the reason why he might succeed, or the reason why we think that he needs to succeed. Phil, I'll let you go ahead and take this one to start. Go ahead.
Yeah. So let me go ahead here and pull it up because I want to be able to quote this article. But I thought it was interesting because it's Ben Standing
from the
Athletic. Talking about that Joe Witt said, Commanders defensive coordinator Joe Witt. We don't talk about Joe Witt by name a lot, so I'm going to, because Dan Quinn's a defensive guy. So I'm going to say, we're quoting our defensive coordinator, Joe Witt. He says, I can tell you the kid is working his butt off, and I'm pleased with where he is. I can tell you that 100% because if he wasn't, I'll tell you. I'm not going to come up here and BS anybody.
Who said it?
So basically, if Witt's saying if Forbes wasn't working his ass off to get better and progressing nicely, he'd tell you, hey, dude's got to step up. But Forbes needs to perform. You're number 1 pick, right? He started coming around at the end of the season last year, and there's things about Forbes' game that I like. All right, yes, he's light in frame, he's slight in frame, right? But he's still willing to get physical and put all 170 pounds of himself into somebody and try to make something happen. But
yeah,
Brokeback Dev, that's a hell of a movie.
We're talking about fullback.
Have you seen Kim Kardashian? Do you think that thing can ever be broken?
With Forbes, though, I mean, Dev kind of said it, which is crazy. Dev said it with a quarterback. It's someone you have under contract for 4 years, at least 5 if you want him. Forbes was a first-round pick. It's much easier to get rid of a cornerback than a quarterback. Right? Like, what?
Want to if you can avoid it.
No, not at all. Not at all. And after one season, how can you? It's hard to even say, even if they have a terrible season, unless it's like
terrible stretchy games is what he had.
Unless it's like so bad that you can't comprehend a pro style offense bad. I mean, using Forbes as an example, Forbes struggled his freshman year, and I think he might be a product of bad coaching. Not Dowie Brown. I think Forbes might be. They didn't put that guy in a position to be successful. They put him on AJ Brown over and over and over again. The next game, send him right back to his abuser. Put him right back on. We need Emmanuel Forbes to be good. We need him to be fantastic. You know why? Because our cornerbacks are getting pretty, it's not the strongest. Our secondary is not the strongest. So we need him to be good. And I hope he is good, man. I want to see the kid's taking so much flack, dude, in 1 year of football.
Here's another thing where it's like we've been spoiled, right? We have had corners that we have run out of this town probably a little sooner than we should have. We have a history of that too. When you have Darrell Green and Champ Bailey play back there, like fans have a high standard.
Yeah,
now, granted, I don't think we've truly had that level of corner since Champ Bailey and Darrell Green.
We had them too with Deion Sanders.
Yeah, but Deion was absolute garbage here. He was doo-doo brown. But
yeah, good point, Dev.
Boot was always seen as an underachiever because he wasn't Darrell Green or Champ Bailey. Tom Carter was a first-round pick, was never seen as being
number 25. Tom Carter. Love
now,
that
Tom Carter, would have 5 or 6 interceptions in a season, and it still is like, oh, he's a bum. He ain't Darrell Green, right? Things like that. People weren't mad when we lost Martin Mayhew before that.
35.
Oh, we replaced with AJ Johnson. What? Martin Mayhew.
AJ Johnson, 47? 47?
He was 35.
AJ Johnson.
Oh, AJ Johnson was 47, yes.
47.
That's what I was 35, right?
Before that, Barry Wilburn.
Ran
him out of here. Even though Barry Wilburn, I think, 1 year led the league in interceptions opposite of Darrell Green because they threw to him all the time. They didn't throw to Green. But he got bummed, right? So it's always if you're not Darrell Green, you're ass, and people are happy to get rid of you. And it's like
we did have some really bad cornerbacks under Jay Gruden, though. I mean, bad. We did,
but again, look who's in charge there. Jay Gruden.
Yeah, and then look who those D coordinators were: Joe Barry and Greg Minuski, and man, I just remember Madu Williams. Madu Williams, so bad.
Madu Williams was a safety too.
Marcus says,
you remember him? He wasn't even a corner. Like we had Josh Norman.
Yeah.
A
zone corner that we put in man coverage time and time again.
Josh Wilson
was pretty good. Number 26. He was pretty good.
Josh Wilson was not bad. He didn't really get a lot of picks. Chris Culliver, bust. He was good with the Niners too. That's the worst part. Comes here, it was awful.
Emerson.
And then we had who was good for us, but he and Jay, if you were in Jay's doghouse, you were not getting.
Hey, I wouldn't even say he was good with us.
No, Emerson was promising.
Emerson was not given an opportunity to really develop.
Then he went to the Raiders and did really well, and then fell out of favor very quickly. And then we had that guy Tenar Jackson who never saw the field once because he kept getting in trouble. That was Bruce Allen's guy from Tampa. Yay, Bruce. Marcus says Quan Martin's going to be one of our best DBs this year, perhaps. I hope so. Yim says Deion came for a Twilight paycheck. Bum. Agreed. As did Bruce Smith, Dana Stubblefield. Who else am I missing here, guys? Archuleta.
Dan Wilkinson.
Big Daddy Wilkinson.
Mark Carrier.
You're wrong.
Number 20.
Wilkinson and Stubblefield. Okay.
They were pretty good. I retort that. You're right.
No, Stubblefield underachieved here. Wilkinson played like he wanted something, right? I always thought that was amazing because Wilkinson was always seen as kind of like the lazy guy, coming out of Cincinnati, and Stubblefield was the hard worker. They come here and it was completely opposite. Like Stubblefield just would disappear, and Wilkinson would be making plays. I watched, and here's the thing. All right, one of these days I'm going to start doing dono streams where I'm going to watch it. We're going to do a watch along with an entire football game, and I was watching one that I was previewing, and it was the Bears and the Redskins from 1999. I watched Dan Wilkinson run an interception back 88 yards. Took him about 12 seconds to do it, but
Dan Wilkinson,
89, 99, 99,
88. It was 88. It was 1999. Yes,
1999. Who was the Bears? Who was the Bears?
That was the Brad Johnson year.
Dan Wilkinson at Ohio State was a fucking monster.
Oh, Bears. It was like K. McNown was quarterback, and
yeah.
I remember how good he was in college. Dan Wilkinson. They was gonna give him the Heisman. Remember that shit?
No.
I remember when he was drafted. It was like he was number 1 overall.
He was dope. He was dope.
He did play. I mean, by the time he got to us, he was a veteran. He played like a guy who was a first-round pick. Maybe not number 1, but he played like a first-round pick for us. Like he really was, a run stuffer. I just wish Stubblefield played the way he was supposed to.
Nice.
But nonetheless, yeah, we went on a spending spree. But some of those guys, like I said, some guys panned out. You got to think. We were spending money on guys like that before, because before that, we had Sean Gilbert here.
Sean Gilbert came from the Panthers, 94.
Came from the Rams.
Rams? It was Rams, not the Panthers. You're right.
And then he went to the Panthers after us.
The Panthers, yeah.
And he was supposed to be God tier, and
he set up.
It ended up that the guy who played next to him was the more consistent guy in Mark Boutte.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it's funny. This tells you how much of a dumb football nerd I was back in the mid-'90s when I was a lot younger. We signed Mark Boutte, and I got really excited because I was like, y'all don't realize how good this guy is. And he actually turned out to be the better of the two. Go figure. Plus, he had a kick-ass name. It was the 90s. His name was
Boutte. Deluxe says most corners can't be what they used to be because of the rules. That's why wide receivers make more. They exploit the rules. Hey, and most cornerbacks are guys who just couldn't cut it as a wide receiver, too. Let's be honest. Ryan says, I'm blown. We let Cam Curl go. He's going to be great in Seattle. He went to L.A.
Yeah.
Went to the Rams. But, yes, point noted. I think we could have got him at a steal, too, because I don't think he got paid that much in L.A. either.
He got like 10, I think.
Yeah. We all thought that maybe he was going to get – he was asking for like 12, 13. He came in under his numbers, but it's all good. Either way. Another funny stat to show you guys when we were talking about salary cap, we were talking about, the windows for teams to be great with their rookie quarterbacks under the salary cap. I mean, check this out. So these are the most expensive offenses in 2024. The Browns, they might be competitive, but look at these teams, how expensive their offense are. Look who's number 6. The Giants are the sixth most expensive offense, $149.8 million.
40 less Danny Dimes.
And they're going to be ass. Like hot ass. The Panthers.
Keep that number. And every time a Giants fan says some dumb shit on Twitter, just throw that number out there.
The Panthers, number 9, 146. And then meanwhile, you roll out Commanders, 25th, $106 million. We got room to spare. This is an argument you could make for signing Brandon. We're not going to get into Brandon Ayuk nonsense. It'll take forever. But all I was saying is Brandon Ayuk, we have the money to pay him. You want to sign these guys when your quarterback is on their rookie contract or their first 4 or 5 years. And the odds came out. I don't know if you guys saw them, but the odds came out for signing Brandon Ayuk. And the Commanders, they have pretty good odds, but by no means are we up there. I think the Cardinals are above us. So people are like, why do the Cardinals have a better chance of signing Brandon Ayuk than what we do? Well, we have 37 million this year. The Arizona has 35 million. Next year, Arizona has $88 million. Next year, we're scheduled to have 71 million. So I think they're looking more projections down the road. So that's all I'm saying. But if we wanted to sign Brandon Ayuk, I think we probably could. But it also depends where you go. These are Vegas bet sites too, so they're trying to suck you in to draw money, of course. But one other final thing on the wide receiver trip. There's a funny graphic, and I wish I could share that. Okay, it is come up. I don't think you'll be able to see it though. I don't think it's going to come in good enough for you to see. But The graphic, what it is on the left-hand column on the y-axis, it's yards per route run, and on the x-axis, it's first downs per target. And Brandon Ayuk is all the way over here on the right. And then Justin Jefferson's way up here. We only have one other person on this list, and it's Josh Doxson. And he's right around here. There's no other commander on this list, and it's the first 4 years in the NFL. First round wide receiver draft picks from 2006 to 2020. This is just showing you how productive, and CeeDee Lamb's right here. These guys are going to break the market. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys regarding that. We're not going to get into the whole Brandon Ayuk saga because, as you guys know, that could take us down a crazy rabbit hole that could last forever. Moving on to the next topic here. So Sam Hartman, if you guys didn't know this, Sam Hartman got drafted. Did you guys hear about this?
Yeah,
I heard about this.
To the battle with the toes.
He got he got drafted. He was the 9th pick, not overall, the 9th pick for the Birmingham Stallions, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's kind of funny that you would ask yourself, okay, they drafted him. What does that mean? So he could leave the Commanders and go to Birmingham. I don't know their current quarterback status at the moment. If he'd be the starter, if he'd be, whatever. But he was drafted. Here you go, right here. I'll share with you guys. Birmingham Stallions drafted his ass. $100,000. I have that. I will pull that up, Dev, and then you're going to tell me whether you think he's going to go there. So the Birmingham Stallions drafted him with their 9th overall pick from Notre Dame. Now, they own his rights in the UFL. He signed a contract with the Washington Commanders. Okay, he signed a deal with the Washington Commanders. We're also going to look at that. So here's his deal he signed with the Commanders. It's a backup quarterback deal. So
no. Mariota's getting a backup quarterback deal.
Got
assistant to the backup quarterback deal.
No, Dev.
I remember when this was like a mid-tier starter deal.
But Dev, for a third string quarterback, I think he got the highest contract in the NFL. So there's a little, like I said, there's a little bit of something there with Sam Hartman. I think ultimately he's gonna be the backup, but no other third string quarterback got a deal like this. 3-year, $2.885.
He's fourth on the depth chart, by just to let y'all know.
Who else is there?
I can't think of the quarterback used for Driscoll.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that guy will be gone.
I don't think so. He got paid too, I think.
You're not going to keep.
No, Driscoll didn't get paid. By the way, little bit tidbit of history, right? So you remember? Do you remember Dwayne Haskins won his first game against the Lions?
Yep, that was the selfie game.
Yeah, Jeff Driscoll was the starting quarterback for the Lions. That game.
He started some for the Cardinals too, right?
He did play for the Cardinals, but Jeff Driscoll was the starting quarterback. I watched that game the other day.
49ers too. 49ers. He didn't even play for them.
Dev. Sam Hartman's making more money than Jeff Driscoll.
Really?
I'm just saying. $1.12 million. He's 31 years old. It's a 1-year deal. They can cut his ass at any time they want to get out of it.
I think you maybe just stash Hartman on a preferred practice squad where he can't be taken.
Yeah, that's probably and he'll get his money.
Yeah.
What I don't know is, will he get money that's on his contract on the practice squad, or does he have to make?
The contract's the contract. The contract's the contract. It's just like it's like the NBA G League. Like if they sign you to a $2 million deal, put you in G League, you're in the G League making $2 million, bro.
But the players they bring off the street to sign the practice squad, it's like $50,000 a week or something like that. But okay. Anyways, that's what he's making. Here's what the UFL cashes out at. So check this out. So anyone in the UFL, we're talking the DC Defenders, the Birmingham Stallions, any of those teams. So you're getting $5,500 per week. So I don't know how many weeks their season is. $850 per week in camp. You get a housing stipend of $400. You get some 401 contributions at $150 per week, which eventually averages out to about $600 per month, which is not that bad. $55 per diem during travel days per day. And you get some bonus structures, which includes $1,000 for the player of the week, $2,500 for all UFL team, $5,000 for player of the year, $7,500 for MVP, a $250K severance fund. But remember, regardless of your position, every single player makes this amount of money. Why would he choose to go there for any of that?
That's like GM money, you know. I mean, that's like you got a degree and got a nice job money. That's what this looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why would he go? I don't see why he would go.
Better than that.
Yeah. Here we go. Dre, what up, Dre? Thanks for tuning in, man.
401k contribution is ass.
I don't know. Yeah, 150 a week is not ass. That's awesome. Like you're not gonna get that working, man. Like I'm just saying, working.
My company offers a 15% dollar.
Yeah, but that's usually still not 150 a week though.
That's more than 150 when my guys are making 35 plus an hour.
Yeah, 5% is kind of the going
60 hours a week.
Rate.
I wonder what that is in percentage wise out of their paycheck. You math guys.
We've done the math. Like if you work for us for 30 years, you put away 15%, and you're making $100,000 a year. Just at $100,000, you retire with 7 figures.
Well, $34 an hour is like 80-something thousand a year.
Yeah. Dre said Sam might back out Jalen next season and his practice squad bid this season. Yeah, he should go to practice squad. They can stash him. Let Mariota ride this one deal out. Mariota's an insurance policy in case something happens to Jaden. And then you got Sam in the waiting as a backup long term because it's cheaper. I don't know if you need to keep Mariota. Mariota's going to want to be a starter. We saw him.
I mean, Sam Hartman, Sam Hartman's just walking around all around the DMV just bagging vagina.
Oh, he is just that's John Wick, man. He's the DMV John Wick.
Them old white women love that guy, dog.
Yeah.
You know his ass is banging every housewife that watches The Bold and the Beautiful up
in Ashburn. Yep. The reason the UFL drafts players already taking the FLs, they get cut and no other teams take them. That gets first claim the player except. Yep, they get the rights to that player. They own the rights for them in case something happens. So it's kind of like an insurance policy. I'm sure they already have a quarterback plan in place. Yem says they also get a payout for playoff games and the championship. So, yeah, man, I just thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, so you could either sit the bench and for a whole year at least. You can sit the bench and make way more money or go get broken up in a fucking developmental league.
That's what I'm saying. Like even the practice squad probably plays more than what these guys are getting in the UFL. I mean, the DC Defenders here just had
starts in the UFL. He gets exposure, and if he's good, he can get a bigger contract down the road.
He's already on a team here. Is what I'm saying.
Quarterback went to the UFL and got a big contract though.
I mean, remember Alabama quarterback AJ McCarron, right?
Yeah,
perennial backup, making shit tons of money comparatively to what we make as a backup, going from the Eagles to the Bengals to the Bills. I don't know where else he went. You know what he did? He said, fuck the money. I'm going to go start in the UFL because I want my kids to see me play. That's what he said. I want my kids to see me play quarterback. So he went to the UFL. And it's rare that you see that. Normally that's a place where people are going because they don't have anywhere else to go. He chose to go that route. Hey, more power to him. But
he subsequently won a game and cried.
He peed and cried. That's
and I'm like, says, oh my God, we never floated on him.
Yeah,
like, if he won an NFL game.
Yam said this will be a 1 year deal for Mariota, just like with Brissett last year. Yep. Can Hartman still stay on the practice squad? Yeah, he should be able to stay on the practice squad. We were just talking about that with that contract. But there's stipulations though. When they bring him up off the practice squad, you can only do that. I want to say it once or twice. Then they have to stay or go. You can't keep bringing them up, putting them down, bringing them up, putting them down. It's either you're there or you're not. Yep. See, Yam, I'm with you. Good minds think alike, man. We know the deal. We know the deal. Ben Harlow, thanks for tuning in, bro. We appreciate you. So yeah, the next funny topic I want to talk about Giants humor. So we kind of hit on this earlier on. The Giants, if you're not watching Hard Knocks, you need to start watching Hard Knocks, even as a Commanders fan. It's so entertaining. I'm not caught up on the 4th episode. I think I'm on the 3rd episode now, but man, there's just golden nuggets. If you remember the last time on our stream, we discussed and showed the video of Brian Dable was episode 3. They had all the quarterbacks pre-combine visiting, and they were just trying to grill them. So this scout said, hey, listen, with Jaden Daniels, he hasn't had a lot of adversity. He's been great. We don't know how he's reacting under pressure. What you need to do is throw a bunch of shit at him and see if he can spit it back out to you. So that's kind of how they approach going in with Jaden Daniels. That was the precursor. And then when he goes in there, Jaden responds to Brian Dable's comments, makes all the changes, and Brady Dable says, what are you going to do? He goes, I just throw a touchdown. He's like, I like that comment. And all the Giants fans are like, he's so dumb. He didn't know what to say, blah, blah, blah. And, people like Quincy Avery, the quarterback guru, was like, he said the perfect answer. It was fine. So all that nonsense, the next episode comes out. The Giants were trying to trade for Jaden Daniels. And we're going to show this clip right now. They were trying to trade for Jaden Daniels, dude. And then they were going to settle for Drake May. And if they didn't get Drake May, they were going to settle with Daniel Jones and get him a weapon.
They was also considering the kid from Michigan too, McCarthy.
Yeah. Either way, this was funny. I wanted to just show this to you guys real quick.
Macklemore.
All right.
What the hell?
Here we go.
Daniels. You guys seen enough that you would trade up for him?
Can you hear it?
Daniels? Yeah, I would. Yes.
You can't hear it?
Oh, it's Joe Biden.
Welcome to the 2024 NFL. You would trade up for him? Daniels? Yeah, I would. Yes.
We are about to pull this deal on him. Palpitations.
Welcome to the 2024 NFL draft.
We don't get a quarterback here. We're rolling with Daniel, and we're going to try to get him a weapon. We good with that?
Yep. Dable looks like a fat Triple H.
A fat Triple H. Let's go to that.
Look like Triple XLH.
Or like a small Big Show. Triple H these days is bald headed with a beard.
Yeah.
So Giants fans, if you find a Giants fan on social media, you need to let them know that your team tried to trade up for Jaden Daniels. Daniel Jones is not your savior, despite what you all try to defend him as. Okay? He ain't your savior. He's an overpaid, mediocre quarterback who he'll give you 2,800 yards and like 16 touchdowns. He hasn't thrown over that. You know what I mean?
Really, really hope, even if Jaden Daniels is a bust, which I don't hope he is, but if he is, I hope he does the Danny Dimes thing to them, where that's the one team he looks great against. I hope Jaden Daniels averages 400 yards passing, 78 yards rushing, and 6 combined touchdowns over the next 4 years against them.
Oh yeah. Please do.
And here's the thing: I don't hate the Giants like I hate the Cowboys and the Eagles, but the Giants are like annoying. And I just really, and the fact we've been losing to them pisses me off, because it's like we should be swatting them like the worthless, insignificant flies that they are, right?
Yeah.
So I want these guys to get the fly swatter treatment over and over and over again by the guy they wanted, and we got.
Yeah. Dre says Jaden worked. They all suck a shit. Them Yankees stick to your boy Danny Fumbles. That's right. Yeah, said they also tried to trade it for May too. That was brought up shortly after the draft. Yeah. Here's another clip. So remember how I told you early on how John Mara loves Saquon Barkley. He did not want to see him go. This is how I think Joe Shane might be in over his head, and he might be out very soon. Listen to John Mara, who we hate in Washington, right? We hate John Mara. He was the reason that us and the Cowboys remember the non-cap year, the spirit of the cap.
Can you explain to me how we didn't have an opportunity to take him and the league to court for collusion?
They got to keep the name longer. That's why the deal.
Yeah, that probably. All right, here's Joe Shane and John Mara talking about Saquon Barkley real quick. Just 30 seconds.
What's the latest? Just on the Saquon thing.
I just got a text that Chicago's driving the price up and Philly's out. I don't know if that's true or not. Which I don't know if I'll make a couple of calls. I don't even know if that's going to happen, but
is he going to cry?
Listen right here.
I have a tough time sleeping if Saquon goes to Philadelphia. I'll tell you that. As I've told you, just being out. I have been around enough players. So, but he's the most popular player we have by far. Yeah.
And you know how
Holy
bad this makes.
shit.
You know how
He
bad
is
this makes.
Joe Biden.
You know how bad this makes John Mara look. Your
They're just like-
GM traded the guy you wanted to keep. Now I get it. You let football people make football decisions, but it goes back to my earlier argument as you guys are giving Hard Knocks unfettered access. Most teams kind of filter what they say on camera. These guys are just completely transparent, which is great for us as the consumer, but y'all got to have a little bit of like self-awareness. Like maybe we
These
should.
guys are asshats, man, and they got 2 Super Bowls in the last decade. And look at what do you think? What do you think we would be like on there?
Dev, they
No. One helmet catch
backdoored
away
their-
from not having one of them.
Oh,
They still got there.
They backdoored their way into those Super Bowl wins.
I wish we could backdoor ourselves
Right?
in the Super Bowl.
Hold on. Well, we could have front doored our way, and had Peyton Manning, but John Mara backdoored us out of that with that stupid fine. Yeah. John Mara
remember that?
didn't know
You remember
about
that, Dev?
backdoors.
Yeah.
That was
I tell
RG3's
Kool-Aid-
second year.
I tell Kool-Aid about this all the time. Y'all need to bookmark this minute because he doesn't.
You
believe
don't
me.
know? No.
I know all about this.
Second year. It was
That was
before we
RG3.
drafted
Yes,
RG3.
it was 2012.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
It was the year-
we
it
didn't
was
get
the year
that.
we drafted
We
him.
got the penalties 2 years after
Yeah.
for the next 2 years.
They got
we
him.
got him.
They got him on a plane trip. They got him on a plane trip the year before 2012 started in off season.
No, what I'm saying is the cap,
Oh,
the hit on the cap that we were
Like the year
allowed to
before.
play with took 2 years. RG3's
Rookie
first
first
season
year,
and his
first year.
second season. Yeah, under
It was-
Shanahan.
it
So
was
our
his
hands,
first- second season, yeah.
it was like what 20 million over 2 years or 20 million a year for 2 years. It was some
It
stupid
was
like
36 million over 2 years.
that. Man, that's insane. That's a lot for a team that was so bad. But yes,
And
you got to
we
find a
wanted
place to watch.
division. We wanted a division with that.
Yeah. Crazy. This guy right here, he's the assistant GM. This was the guy on episode 1 that they were looking at all the free agent running backs. They're like, oh yeah, we got to get Austin Eckler. He's still got something in him. When they were talking about Saquon Barkley, this dude right here came from the Eagles. He had the nerve to say, with some of these guys, you don't want to pay filet mignon prices for top sirloin. We're not going to pay for top sirloin and at filet mignon prices. Like, and they go back to, what are you doing with Daniel Jones, bro? He's like the 3rd highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Like,
yeah,
either way,
that dude's.
I got to watch this again with John Mara real quick. Chuck Ross.
They don't care paying for Chuck though. Yeah.
He's Chuck Ross. Let's watch John Mara one more time. Right here.
I have a tough time sleeping if Saquon goes to Philadelphia. I'll tell you that. As I've told you, just being out. I've been around enough players. So
Look at their faces.
He's the
Their faces are all like, either shut the fuck up, let us do our job, or oh man, we're screwed.
most popular player we have by far. Yeah.
Either way, I thought that was there's Dev.
You and I are hitting the same button at the same time.
Okay. Bring it back. There we go. Either way. All 3 of us hit the button to bring Dev back. That was funny, right? So if you haven't watched Hard Knocks, I just say if you're a fan of football, just watch it. It's extremely entertaining. It's giving us stuff to talk about. It's very fun. I am surprised that every episode gets a little bit more like exposure to this team, and it makes me feel good about our team because I don't think I feel like we are in a better spot than these guys. That's the only reason why I share it with you guys, and it's just a little fun to poke and prod at some of these dudes. So you know how it goes, man. You know how it goes. But I think that brings us to the end of our episode here, fellas. We're not gonna talk about Brandon Ayuk. So as you know how we do it here on Command This, we always want to end the episode on a high note. So with that being said, if you're in the chat, share something cool with us, man. Let us know what's going on and good with your life. I'm on vacation, so I'm here at the beach of Delaware, so life is good here till Saturday.
I got a what's good that ended up with a what's bad.
Oh no! Okay, share it with us, Phil.
So Saturday night, I went to a Mexican restaurant, drank a whole bunch of mezcal.
Okay.
So that explains what happened next. And then went to a 40th anniversary showing of Purple Rain at Alamo Drafthouse.
Okay.
Because, if you don't know, I'm a massive Prince fan. Like,
Purple
Did you
Rain.
bathe yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka?
I've not purified myself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka yet. I'll be outside. But beforehand, they what is they gave you a little prize bag, right? One was like an inflatable cloud guitar. It looked like the white one he plays at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So like I already inflated mine. I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden they're like, they want people to go up there, and we're doing air guitar contest. So your boy, no one's volunteering. So your boy's like, I'll do it.
Air guitar contest, man.
I went down there with people, right? So we're doing, and it's the guitar. It's the guitars at the end of Let's Go Crazy.
Okay.
And the guitars at the end. The Prince is going nuts, right? We're right where it cuts to where he's doing the full-on solo to end the song. I literally ran across in front of the other two people doing the contest because I was like, I got to show them up somehow. And I did the whole drop to both knees at the same time, and I'm like just going at it. The whole place is going nuts. But in the process, I jammed my knee into like a bolt or something that was in the floor and literally took a chunk out of my knee. And now I had to, it's scabbed over now, but it was like there was a hole there. Like whatever was in the floor put a hole right in the front of my knee, and it hurt like hell. Now I didn't feel it until I got back up to my seat, and I'm like, "Ooh, I think I did something."
Yeah, you might feel that later.
I did win. I got free tickets and free food vouchers and all that.
Let's say, did you eat the worm? Did you eat a worm?
I ate the worm because the mezcal was part of some mixed drink, but I was downing them because they're delicious.
Yeah, is mezcal the one with the worm?
Tequila's got the worm. Mezcal, I think there is a worm too.
Well, I went camping for the first time at like 9 years old, and they took us out, and the people with family friends, and it was me and this kid and his family, and they're getting plastered, and they're passing around a bottle, and this is a different time frame. This is 1989, 1990. So,
I'm going to regret this. By the
way, there was people like I think this 12-year-old got the worm, and that's the only time. That's when I knew that worms were in tequila. I didn't know that. So.
Hold on, I'm gonna totally regret that. God damn it, this thing's not working at all.
Anybody else in the chat? You got anything to share with us before we close out? Dev, you got any good news for us, man? Before we
Steve, check the group chat.
I've been watching fucking Sausage Party, which is freaking fun. It's pretty good. You haven't watched the movie, watch that first before I watch the series. I watched the finale of Acolyte, which was okay. It ended up being better than I thought it would end up, but it's still not that great of a series. The Boys season finale was lit. That's good.
I just started The Boys. I've never seen it.
Homelander's probably the best villain. Homelander's probably the best villain in a TV series.
I'm halfway through season 1.
Man. He's fucking maniacal.
Don't spoil it. But on that note, I'm going to mute this music and we're going to watch Phil do his air guitar because he was so kind enough to share. Beer? So do you got
slap the bass?
You don't
slap the bass.
Air bass is done up here. It's not down here. It's Paul Rudd, Phil.
Yeah, he don't get the power right.
I don't know.
Why do I sound like why do you sound like a leprechaun?
Slap a bass. Slap a bass, man. Slap a that bass. Okay. For those who are watching, this is our own Phil doing his air guitar that he just taught.
Wait. You got on stage in this motherfucker?
I was in the front of the theater.
Oh, that's hilarious. There's no one there.
I hope you guys in the chat.
You can't really see from that angle, but there's a bunch of people. Like it's an Alamo Draft House. So you have the seats you can kind of slouch in.
So listen, please give us a like if you haven't already done so. I know that many people left on YouTube, but if you're on Twitter, flip over to YouTube, hit that like button for us. We would greatly appreciate it. And we're gonna let you see Phil's air guitar competition. Looks like this is him right here. Let's check it out.
It's obviously that one's me. I'm wearing a Purple Rain t-shirt, by the way.
I got one of those.
Now, is the point to be like Prince, or the point's just to do whatever and win?
Do whatever.
Shut up, Phil.
I'll watch this. When I drop down, that's when I slap my knee right into something.
He's down for the count. You should play it with your dick, like hold it. Just
yeah.
play it with my dick. Damn, all right. You over doing the hot tour over there, Phil. What was that? What was that move?
So what were the final
Phil's over
results,
like
Phil?
a stunt double in
I
a
won.
Game 4 movie.
I won.
All right. There we go.
Phil's
Love
a
it,
stunt-
love it, love it.
Phil's over here like a stunt cock in a gay porno movie, man.
Hey,
All you
I'd
seen
rather
was
be
this.
stunt cock
All I
than the
seen
guy
was
that's-
that. I didn't know.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deluxe
That's
said
pretty
his
good air
vacation
guitar.
starts tomorrow at 5. That's right. In for the weekend, man. Hope you have a
Where
good
you go? Where
vacation.
you going?
Deluxe, where are you going? Let us know. Dre says cousin extravaganza tomorrow and family cookout Saturday, comrades. That's what's up, man. And I think I'll be at training camp at the beginning of August. I was blessed enough to get some tickets from Juan, our boy Juan.
This is,
Juan
by the way,
Valdez.
this is going to be my last weekend for a while that I'm not going to be out of town. Because next week I'll be in Jacksonville. The week after that, God, I hope my buddy didn't. I forgot my buddy occasionally watches this. I hope he didn't see that because I'm surprising him for his birthday. But if I ruin the surprise, I will. And he knows I'm coming.
Yeah.
But next weekend I'll be in Jacksonville. The weekend after that, I'll be in Roanoke for a con. I'll be at a con in Pittsburgh. The week after that, 2 weeks after that, I'll be in Philly. 2 weeks after that is HF Festival. And at some point here, I'm trying to get to go to a Commandthispod.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. We will be there. I was actually looking at ticket prices for week 2. Holy spokesville. The prices we used to pay for club seats have like doubled, just for the record.
Yeah, can we get this thing done? Because at least we'll get some reasonable prices.
Holy smokes. Okay. Deluxe got his tire pressure sensors working for the first time, 2017. Hey, little things, man. It's the little things.
7 years. Nice.
Yeah. OBX. Good time. Ryan Elias says that was money, Phil. Show your boys, Ryan. Show your boys. Dre says safe travels, my brethren. Yes, sir. And thank you for watching, Dre. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone who tuned in with us tonight. Make sure you hit that like button on YouTube and tell a friend, man. Come kick it with us. We love chilling with y'all. Ryan says going to Myrtle Beach for 10 days next weekend, birthday weekend, and about to get it lit with wifey. 10 days.
Ryan.
That's a crazy vacation, dude.
Ryan, when you go to Myrtle Beach, you have to do one night. You got to go out to Abuelo's. It's a Mexican restaurant in Myrtle Beach. My aunt is the kitchen manager.
Ooh.
So, trust me,
Abuelo's.
the food is freaking amazing. Go to Abuelo's. Make that your dinner and then go out and do whatever afterwards. It is off the boardwalk area and all that. You have to get away from the beach, but that also means you don't have to deal with all the tourists.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Anyway,
Rise
Ryan, go
words.
to Abuelo's when you're down there. Promise you, the food is great. Food's great.
You won't be disappointed. All right, guys, we're gonna get on out of here. We'll probably be back Monday for some all sports content. Definitely back next Thursday, probably talking about some camp stuff. So we'll see how it goes. If there's enough camp news, we'll back on Monday camp, but probably save it for Thursday. So appreciate you guys tuning in to episode 282 for us. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and love kicking with you guys. And we'll see you next week. As always, peace and hail. We out.